What is up, everybody? Welcome back into Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show. All right, this video is going to be two things. It's going to be a little bit of a pep talk to get you excited for tomorrow's games, and it's going to be kind of a list of adjustments that you need to make really quick to your rosters to make sure we're going in with our best chance possible to win tomorrow. So if you didn't catch my video earlier, I'm back to doing my channel here, so I'm excited to be back, and I want to get you guys hyped for tomorrow and make sure that you make these key adjustments to your roster to make sure that you win. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting with the defensive position. Okay, now there are two defenses that I want you guys to stream this week if you're not sure about your defense. Now, if you already have a set it and forget it, like guaranteed smash matchup at your defense, obviously don't unplug that defense to play either of these ones. But if you're looking for a good defensive streaming option, or if you're like me and you stream a defense pretty much like every single week in almost every one of your leagues, then these are the two best streaming options. So I've got the first one right here, the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans have been mistake-prone all season long. You know, they have Will Levis playing quarterback now, who has shown some flashes of brilliance, actually, but he is a rookie quarterback who is going to be prone to make mistakes. The Jacksonville Jaguars have been getting after the quarterback, so I think that they might force an interception or two in this game. High ceiling for this defense in this game, high floor. I don't see any version of Tennessee somehow creating negative points for the Jacksonville defense, so you can have a reliable floor and a massively high ceiling. A pick six is certainly a possibility in this game. I love streaming the Jacksonville defense in this matchup. Next matchup is going to be the Vikings versus Denver. Now, Denver's starting to find it a little more on offense, but they're still not a very cohesive unit. The Vikings have been very, very good this year. They're actually a top 10 defense as far as overall fantasy points right now, so been a pleasant surprise. They've been a lot better than I've expected them to be. A lot of times they're still going to be on the waiver wire, though, for whatever reason. They're available in a good amount of leagues, so go check your waiver wire. If you're not sure about your defense this week, make sure to plug in the Minnesota Vikings against the Denver Broncos. This is another high floor, high ceiling match. The only teams that I'm going to include on this list for defensive streaming options have to have the combination of a high floor and a high ceiling, because I don't want you to just have sky-high potential for what your defense can do. I want to make sure they don't get you negative points, because we know that that can create problems with your matchup. So these are the two defensive streaming options that are smash matchups. You need to plug these in if you want to win, unless, of course, you have a way better matchup that's just obviously better than either of these two. In that case, play that defense, but you know what I mean. Next on my list, after defense, we've got quarterbacks. Okay, so I've got three quarterbacks right here that I want you guys to stream that, you know, some of them are plentiful on the waiver wire, some of them might not be. But the fact of the matter is, we've had a ton of quarterback injuries. We got Joe Burrow out for the season, Kirk Cousins out for the season, Aaron Rodgers acting like he's going to come back. I don't know. We have a ton of injuries at the position. Deshaun Watson, it's a mess. So if you are not sure who to play at quarterback this week, I've got some options for you guys. And the first one is going to be Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray is, you know, he's only owned in 62% of leagues. So 38% of leagues, Kyler Murray is available. This is mind-blowing to me. I don't understand. Like, people just seem to have forgotten how good of a quarterback this guy can be. This dude is a very good quarterback with great deep ball passing abilities, great arm talent, and rushing upside. So, you know, obviously it's only his second game back, but you know, the offense already looks like it's a little bit better with him in it, as we very much expected. And I actually think that this offense could be a lot better than people expect. Look, we have Marquise Brown, so we have a true wide receiver one. We got James Conner coming back. We got Kyler Murray back. This offense could actually be an above-average NFL offense. And, you know, they're playing against Houston this week. They're probably going to be having to pass the ball a lot, because they're probably going to be playing from behind because their defense is terrible. So I love Kyler Murray this week. I think he's one of the best streaming options. It might be one of those situations where Kyler Murray goes off so hard this week that he's simply not on any waiver wires after next week if he has a big enough game, and I think that's going to happen. If you're not sure about your quarterback position, plug Kyler Murray in with confidence. Next one's going to be Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields is not nearly as available on the waiver wire as Kyler Murray. So hopefully you already have him on your bench, but he is still available in 18% of leagues. So if he isn't on your bench and you're not sure about who you have starting right now, go check your waiver wires. There's always a chance that Justin Fields is on there. He is on the waiver wire in 18% of leagues. So go check, see if he's on the waiver wire. I think this game against Detroit has some serious shootout potential. I really do. I mean, both teams are very vulnerable against the pass, right? And that's what typically creates shootout games. You know, people look at shootout games and they're always looking at the offense like, well, both these offenses have a lot of firepower. Well, a lot of times when the defense is great, that totally squashes that anyway. But when you have two defenses that give up a lot of yardage against the pass, that almost always creates a shootout. And we know that despite the inconsistency that the Bears have had on offense, they do have some firepower on offense with DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields. We know Justin Fields gives you that rushing upside. This could be a very high-scoring game. Fields could be one of the highest-scoring quarterbacks on the league on the week. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. So, yeah, he's been a little bit inconsistent this year. He's just coming back from injury. He might kind of be off people's radars, but if he's on your bench or on the waiver wire and you're not sure who to play at quarterback, play Justin Fields with confidence. Next on my list is going to be Jordan Love. Now, Jordan Love, obviously, I favor Fields or Kyler above Jordan Love, but I think that Jordan Love has some sneaky upside this week. Every single week, there's that one quarterback that really surprises us and puts up a lot more points than anybody expected. It seems to happen every single week with one or two quarterbacks. And I think this week, Jordan Love is that guy. Look, they're playing against the LA Chargers, who give up a ton of points. They're always involved in shootout games because they put points on the board fast, and they give up points as well. So this game, the Chargers and the Packers, I think it could be a high-scoring game. I really do. If it was one of the higher-scoring games, if not the highest-scoring game on the slate, I wouldn't be surprised. If this was the highest-scoring game on the week, I would not be surprised. And Jordan Love has all his weapons. We got Aaron Jones back at 100%. They finally cut him loose and are giving him volume, feeding him through the passing game. We got Christian Watson. Romeo Doubs has been good. Jaden Reed has been a good rookie. This offense has weapons. They've just been out of sync because they've been injured all year. Now that they're actually healthy and they've had a few weeks to kind of gel together, I think we're going to see one of the biggest explosion weeks for the Packers this week. I think that Jordan Love is that sneaky upside play this week. So if you're not sure about who you want to play at quarterback, if you have Jordan Love on your bench, plug him in. Or if he's on the waiver wire, grab him and plug him in. I like him this week. Next and final thing that I have on my list here is I have a list of players that you might be thinking about benching because they just haven't been good, right? But I want to encourage you to not put these guys on the bench because of what they've done recently, because of what they've done last week, or even the past month. I have very good reason to believe that all these guys are going to have a good week, and I don't want you to bench these guys just because they haven't been doing well or because they had a bad week last week. The following players need to be in your starting lineup, okay? Tony Pollard, Travis Etienne, Saquon Barkley, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, Jordan Addison, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, and Marquise Brown, okay? I think all of these guys are in a prime spot to have a very good week. I know that, look, Tony Pollard has been pretty much a bust. He's been terrible for the past month, but I love him this week as a high upside play. And, he's getting really good volume in an offense that scores a lot of points. The touchdowns are going to come. We know that the touchdowns will regress to the mean. He will start scoring more touchdowns. Inevitably, he's getting a high workload and a potent offense. The touchdowns are going to come. Etienne only had one bad week. You're an idiot if you're benching him. Saquon had a terrible week last week. The offense is the worst offense in the NFL. But at the end of the day, this dude is getting more volume than any running back in the entire league. You've got to start him. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, they have Matt Stafford back. This is going to help significantly. Jordan Addison has only gotten you 10 PPR points in each of the past 2 weeks, but he's been very, very good all season. Still no Justin Jefferson. You have to start Jordan Addison. Devontae Adams, I think that the quarterback change is actually going to help Devontae Adams. I was telling people going into the season, Jimmy Garoppolo's trash. Stay away from, putting too much stock into the Vegas Raiders, but I think that O'Connell coming in and playing quarterback is going to help. I don't necessarily think that he's that good of an NFL quarterback yet, but his first week taking over in the offense, Devontae Adams got 13 targets, whereas Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't even looking his way for whatever reason, and that's probably a big reason why Jimmy Garoppolo got benched. So Aiden O'Connell is looking Devontae Adams' way a lot. I think we're going to have a huge explosion in the second half of the season with Devontae Adams. DeAndre Swift hasn't been nearly as good in the past 3 weeks, but he's still a back with elite talent, running behind a great offensive line on a team that scores a ton of points. You got to figure that, it's going to even out a little bit between the goal line touchdowns between Jalen Hurts and DeAndre Swift. Jalen Hurts has been getting all the goal line touchdowns and all the red zone touchdowns. That's going to even out a little bit. DeAndre Swift is at least going to get some of those. I think we have some big weeks coming for DeAndre Swift, mainly because of positive touchdown regression. I love Aaron Jones this week and what's going to be a high-scoring game against the Chargers, and his volume's been up the past 2 weeks. Marquise Brown finally has Kyler Murray back. Yes, he had a terrible first week back, with Kyler's first week back, Marquise Brown wasn't good at all, but it's just one game. Remember how good he was last year with Kyler Murray. These two have a very good connection, and I think that we're going to have Marquise Brown's biggest game of the year this coming week. So make sure that even though he didn't do so good last week and hasn't been that great this season, make sure he's in your starting lineup. All these guys I just mentioned, you might be thinking about benching them for some reason or another, but do not do it. They belong in starting lineups absolutely 100% for this week. So, all right, guys, hope this video helped. Catch you later.